Hi, my fellow broke aristocrats. I hope you're having a great Sunday. Today I'm talking about confession time. I know this is a frugal channel, and we all want to be frugal, particularly in the month of January, because January is often a no spend month. And so today I decided to talk about what I like to spend my money on, what my weakest link is. And since I am the weakest link in the frugal community, being a bit of a aristocrat in my taste. Of course, I'm not really an aristocrat. It's more like a tongue-in-cheek about those of us who often like to spend more than we earn, or we like to live like aristocrats, but we don't necessarily have a lot of money. So I wholeheartedly confess that I am the weakest link in the frugal community, and that there's nothing particularly natural about being frugal for me because I kind of have poor impulse control. If I want something really badly, I will talk to myself and tell myself, oh, come on, go ahead and do it. And I think that is definitely a challenge that I have had as I attempt to pay off debts and live below my means. So today I wanted to talk about confessions. What do I spend money on, and what my weakest area is. I also want to talk about frugal choices, that sometimes we can be extremely frugal in one area, but not frugal at all in another. And for me, the number one challenge I have is eating out. I think this would not be as big a challenge if I were married or if I was part of a couple. If I had kids, I don't think I'd be wanting to eat out constantly. But being a single woman in a city like Los Angeles where I'm running all over the place, I have patients, I have my private practice, I have another company I work for, I have a third company I do research for. So I'm all over the place, and it's very easy for me to not want to be home by myself, eating leftovers when I would rather just go out and have some human contact and eat food that I didn't cook. So my weakest, absolutely the least frugal thing about my life right now is going out and eating out. And I think if you are single, you probably can relate to that. It's real hard to come home every night to an empty home and eat by yourself. So I think that is definitely an area that's a weakness for me, is food. That is my number one challenge in terms of being frugal. My number two thing that I spend money on is travel. That's another area that I'm not particularly frugal with, is that I love to spend my money on vacationing to fun places. I've lived in Europe, and I traveled to Europe probably about 4 or 5 times. I've also had a chance to go to Nicaragua, Costa Rica, China. Lived in Israel for several years, got to see the Middle East. I'm probably going to be doing a cruise with my sister in the coming year. All those things I like to pay cash for, and I like to save and plan and find the most most frugal way I can do it. But it's definitely an area that I spend money on. In terms of being frugal, my life is so frugal that hopefully you try to plan your life based on what's important to you. For me, what's important to me is good food and travel. So if I can cut cost in other areas, that allows me to put money towards the things I really love. For example, I'll give you examples of how frugal I am. Number one, I don't own a car, I don't drive, I take the city bus, or I take Uber Pool, where I share a ride with other Uber drivers. It's an option we have here in Los Angeles, so I cut costs that way. I rent a room in a guest house. I don't own my own property, and we share the house with like 10 other people. It's a large Victorian home, so I cut my cost in terms of rent. So rent and transportation were two areas that I cut cost dramatically. The third was that I cut cost in clothing. I usually buy my clothes used or discount clothing, so I cut cost there as well. I can't think of anything else off the top, but Definitely. Oh, personal items. I shop at the 99-cent store. Shampoo, I get it at the 99-cent store. Beauty products also, makeup, etc. I usually try to get it on discount. So I'm extremely frugal in many areas of my life. It's just that those two areas that I really do, I am weak and I don't think about money too much is going out to eat, buying high quality groceries. I prefer organic. I will spend extra money when it comes to good quality food and travel. Those are the areas where I wholeheartedly admit to not being frugal. If I can get discounts on good quality stuff, I will. One of the great things that Nurse Amanda was able to do for us was to get us organic, fresh fruits and vegetables delivered to our home every 2 weeks for $40 a month. And so we do try and find frugal ways to give ourselves the best quality life possible. I'd be curious if people watching this can share the areas of their life where they're an aristocrat versus the areas of their life where they're frugal. Uh, I mentioned too, I'd be curious if there's any areas of your life where you refuse to compromise and you do spend money, and in what areas you are frugal. All right. Thanks for watching, everyone. This was my confession about those areas that I spend money on, and I'd love to hear yours. It's always a choice. It's our money. We're free to do with it what we like, and I'd be curious about what your priorities are. Thanks for watching. Bye.